So you're feeling this topsy-turvy inside of you and you're trying to figure out, are you actually overloaded or are you depressed? There is a lot of similarity between the two, but they are not the same thing. You might feel the one way and not the other, but there's a lot that you need to understand about the difference in the symptoms that you are having that I'm going to be explaining in this video. So on the one hand, you have got all of the classical symptoms that come with depression. Low energy, low mood, irritability, all of those things. But those things are also to do with being overloaded. The big difference comes in with how you're getting out of the situation. So unfortunately for me, I have been both depressed and overloaded. And I can speak about the difference between the two because I've lived the experience. So when I was in the mental health clinic, at that point, I had become depressed, but I had started off as overloaded. And the reason that the depression comes on in the first place is because if you don't fix the overload, what starts to happen is that you start identifying with the situation that you're in, and your brain keeps digging the hole deeper for you, and because of that constant rumination, you then start to exhibit the same symptoms as depression. So the thing that you need to get out of this is that you have the opportunity, when you have become overloaded and you start experiencing these symptoms, to put the brakes on and start doing all of the small exercises that we talk about that stop you from moving from the overload and cognitive drain that you've got, and stop it from moving into full-blown depression. So the difference between the two is fairly simple. With overload, you can do things to fix it, and it works quicker than with the depression. Depression can be partly chemical and partly just flawed thinking, generally flawed thinking, and it takes much longer to fix that way of thinking than it does to take all of the small steps that reduce your overwhelm. So all of the small steps that you take with overwhelm is you start closing all of the open tabs. You just do things that need to get done. You start with all little small tasks that create and build momentum. You stop taking on new things that are going to create additional overwhelm, and you don't start new big things that create more and more open tabs. So once you start implementing all of these smaller tasks or fixes, then you will start to see that the overwhelm starts reducing, and you can feel it much quicker. When you do the daily mind dump, writing out all of your tasks on paper, breaking down big tasks into smaller tasks, doing mindless things just to create some momentum, like the cleaning the kitchen examples, those type of things, you can see quick results and you start to move out of it. Depression though, that one is a much deeper stuck state, and that requires a lot more introspection, change in the way that you're thinking. You have to apply all of these CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy techniques, to fix your way of thinking, because you've created these inroads in your mind where your processing of things that are happening to you is completely broken, and because of that you have this rumination which is just habitual and ongoing. So that is the big distinction between the two. The one you can put brakes on with quick little fixes and things that you do that it's physically going to help with that, and it'll help you mentally. But the depression side of it, that one is a much bigger slog to get through. So know that even though the symptoms are similar, you can fix the one before it becomes the other. That's the big takeaway.